Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of the Million Pound Mission Podcast. It's your buddy Adam, the PhD, the previously heavy dude. And this is our Friday episode where you know how we do it. No sponsors, no theme music, no anything else. Anything that gets in the way between me and you chatting it out for 5 minutes strong. All right, this is episode number 148, Tips for Keto While Traveling. And this is very important. People struggle with travel in general, and the ketogenic diet makes things a little more interesting because we have to stay in ketosis, right? So I've got a few tips to consider while you are traveling and trying to remain ketogenic. All right, the first one, don't stress over tracking. And, obviously this kind of goes against some of the things that I preach on the show is you got to track your macros. So if you're somebody that's been in ketosis, you've been doing the ketogenic diet for a while, you kind of have the rhythm, you have the routine, you're fat adapted, that ketosis is established, and you aren't, so if you're that person, then, if you're on vacation especially, don't stress over putting everything in your app. Like, oh my God, I go to this restaurant, I got to weigh that steak and figure it out. Like, you should know what a plate of a ketogenic meal looks like. And you should be able to get pretty close to it. Now, if you're somebody that's just on the ketogenic diet, off, back and forth, really struggling with it, you might want to try to do the macro thing if you're really trying to stick with it. But you're the type of person that's going to struggle with vacation, period, no matter what you're trying to do. So maybe with that case, just try to eat clean. So, but let's say you're kind of a veteran keto person. You got a little bit of momentum going. And you should be able to look at a plate of food and realize, okay, that's a nice ketogenic balance. There's a ribeye there, and then I've got some asparagus with olive oil on it, and we have some cheese on the side or something like that. And you should know what that looks like. So don't stress if tracking your macros and entering them all in an app or whatever, if that's going to be the stress point that just breaks your back and you go off the rails and eat and drink whatever you want, then don't worry about that. Do your best. So that's the first tip. Second tip is focus on the fats at each meal. Lead with fat. Right, you got to lead with some fat. So think, what is my fat source at each meal? Is it going to be avocado? Is it going to be egg yolks? Is it going to be olive oil? Is it going to be, ribeye, like a fatty cut of meat? So focus on the fats and front load each meal with fats. Make sure we're getting those in. Number 3, bring non-perishables that will help you succeed. All right, so things that I bring, I know this isn't everybody's jam, but I bring olive oil. I bring a little travel bottle of olive oil, and I will straight up do shots of olive oil. When I'm at a restaurant and I'm traveling, I'll get a salad. I'll say, I don't want any dressing. I want 2 cups of olive oil, and I will take one and I'll pour it over my salad. One, I might kind of just shoot a little bit of it. I'll offer it to other people first. Like, you guys want to do some shots of olive oil? And usually there are no takers. And then I either drink that or I pour it on my veggies, my meat, whatever. And that way I'm getting some fats going. All right. And, dousing your veggies in olive oil is awesome. It tastes really good. So I do the olive oil thing. I do jerky. There is an awesome brand named Epic. They have a uncured pork or uncured bacon, meat pouch that's really good. It's very ketogenic friendly, and that's non-perishable, so that's good. Nuts, of course, we have to watch for carbs, but walnuts, macadamia nuts, those are some nice ketogenic resources. Meat sticks, bars, again, watching our protein being too high as much as possible, but just kind of leading with, it's better if your protein's a little bit high and you kick yourself out of ketosis a little bit, that's still better than going off the charts with sugar and carbs where all those cravings and addictions come back. So that is the third quick tip. Lastly, what do you have access to? Know going into your travel what you have access to. Will you have a kitchen? Will you have a stove? Will you have a microwave? Will you have a refrigerator? Because those things are all game changers. So what we cannot do when we travel, especially if we want to stay in ketosis, is we can't just put the blindfold on and be like, well, I hope it goes okay. We'll see what happens. And people travel all the time. They tell me, I have no control over what I eat, Adam. I have no control over what I eat. And that's bullshit. Like, no one's putting food in your mouth. Like, you can go somewhere and be like, you can always ask for options. Because what if somebody shows up and they're vegetarian? Like, people are ready for options, and you have to make smart decisions and not just put that token pass out there. I have no control over what I eat. They put a buffet out there. I have to eat it all or everyone gets offended. No, false. That's false. So take control over what you're eating. That's another good quick tip and step. But just think through this process and think ahead. Plan ahead. That's the best overarching tip is see what you have access to, plan ahead, and kind of get a basic structure together so that you can maintain your ketogenic foundation. And that, my friends, is how we get out there. That's how we own it. Every meal, every workout, every day. I will see you on the next episode.